Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LeTip Live. LeTip is an organization of like-minded individuals coming together to help each other's businesses grow and flourish. And we have some special treats for you as we are live today. And we are live with Randy Carroll from Seniors Helping Seniors. Now, I want to remind you, since we're live, you can ask a question, put a comment, put a concern into the comments section, and we will answer it live today. Music just went out real quick. Nice job, DJ. Don't know what's going on there, but we're live, and things happen when you're live. And we have Randy Carroll from Seniors Helping Seniors. So, Randy, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, Doug. It's good to be here.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. So let's dive right into it. We're going to get to know Randy here. So Seniors Helping Seniors, how'd you get into that? What were you doing before? What's going on there?
What's the story?
Yeah, what's the story?
So I was actually I was working in retail about 13 years ago, ready for a job change, and actually worked with getting my mom into what's known as a independent living retirement community, and really fell in love with the mission of helping older adults, seniors, to age successfully. And I basically approached that community about possibly working for them. It worked out for me. And I've been working in senior living for over 12 years now. Most recently, made a move into this organization called Seniors Helping Seniors, because it's really a way to, what I feel, more individually help individual families and their loved ones to age successfully. So it was part of this mission that I believe I love helping people, and this is a great way to do it, especially with this population. So I love older adults. I am one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So that's got you started. So tell us a little bit about Seniors Helping Seniors. What's it all about?
So Seniors Helping Seniors is basically it's an in-home care, a non-medical in-home care provider that offers older adults basically personal and companion care services. So there are two different types of offerings that we have, and basically personal care is where people need help with their what's known as activities of daily living. So things like transferring, getting out of chairs, perhaps if they need help bathing or dressing, those types of services, that type of help. And then you have what are known as companion care. Companion care, which of course is built into personal care as well, is really about really having a personal assistant where you can have somebody, take you to doctor's appointments, or maybe go out to lunch. Maybe do prep a meal for you, just sit around, go to the park, things like that. So it's really just that. It's more about having somebody to visit with, somebody to take care of your basic needs from day to day, and and connect. I mean, that's really what it's about. It's about being able to connect with your fellow seniors. And that's also something that's particularly unique about our organization, is that we are focused on basically hiring or employing seniors to provide that care to their fellow seniors. So that peer-to-peer relationship is unique in our industry, within the in-home care industry. And we find that ultimately those relationships that people find, both peer-to-peer, but also the families that are receiving the care, really relate to this model of one older adult helping another, right? One senior helping another. So there's the logo, there's the name.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
And that's probably where, you flourish a lot. We were talking before we went live, like, you're helping someone and dealing with someone who has similar interests in you, similar musical tastes, similar.
Absolutely. I mean, when you put somebody along the same life arc that has, maybe they've raised kids, maybe they have grandkids, maybe there's, sometimes they identify with certain, aches and pains that you've experienced. But also, I mean, culturally, maybe you did, one of the things that somebody said recently was, "You were at Woodstock? I was at Woodstock. Where were you sitting? And all of a sudden, you have this connection that only somebody of a similar age would be able to identify with. And because of that identification and that excitement and ability to relate to someone near your own age, the results are far different than just your average caregiver going into someone's home. So it's really exciting. It's rewarding to see those relationships happen. And oh my gosh, it's amazing. People really, really begin to flourish when they have that kind of a buddy around, so to speak,
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Great stuff. So I'm going to ask, it's probably the I don't want to say dumber questions, but the obvious questions maybe. For you to definitely be obvious. For the people at home, I'm just trying to help the people at home here. So like we have two avenues, right? One seems to be more in person, in home, like care needs, and one seems to be more like recreational and fun stuff, right? For the in-home stuff, is it like sometimes is it part-time, full-time, every like lunchtime, once a day, twice a day? What does that look like?
Great. It's a great question. And the way basically it works for us and different in-home agencies have different minimums, as they're called. We do require a 4-hour minimum per day. And usually what families will do is they'll sign up for anywhere from 12 to 16 hours a week. Because although that's not our minimum, in order for the person receiving the care, that's called receivers, for them to be able to really begin to connect with that caregiver, you can't do it 4 or 8 hours a week. It's it's also more difficult to find a consistent caregiver, which is another key component of what we're trying to do. When we match a caregiver with a family, then we want to make sure that we can get that same caregiver to come back. That consistency is important for the family getting the care, but it's also important for us. So you're looking at 4-hour minimums per day and anywhere from 3 to 4 days per week. Nice. So kind of start from there. And then of course, depending on the level of health needs or those activities of daily living, then we can obviously adjust from there.
Awesome. What would be some of the activities for helping, like taking someone to the doctor, grocery shopping? What would be some of these?
You named two of them. So it would be things. Yes, I mean, for companion care, it's really kind of working with that individual to understand, where are their needs? Do they need to run some errands? Do they need a trip to the doctor? Would they like to just get out of the house? Which a lot of times, right, seniors want that opportunity to just maybe go walk through a park, or maybe go grab lunch at a local restaurant, maybe go to the movies together. Those types of companion care services are what we offer, but it does include like housekeeping, doing a load of laundry and all that, all those types of chores, if you will, just to again be there as an assist to the person that needs some companionship.
Nice. So we work with some assisted living places around, and the joke is that like if you have a car, you're the coolest kid on the block. So basically, you're helping seniors, like you're hooking them up with like the coolest guy on the block. Is like, they got a car, they can take me places. Like this is life changing over here.
Man, I got the ride. You're out of here. Let's take off.
Let's boogie.
Go on a road trip somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Good stuff. So that's the care side of things. Now, how about like the more fun, active side of things? What are some of the things that we're doing on that side? Are we going to bingo? Are we going to the movies?
Well, that was really more of what I was sharing about companionship. On the flip side, really is more when someone has higher need of care. Those activities of daily living, where somebody just needs that true assist, then that's when we can come in, and we'll always go in first with a nurse to do a care assessment to make sure that we have a full understanding of what those needs are. And then whether it's again helping somebody out of a chair, maybe they need help showering or dressing, sometimes getting through a meal, medication reminders,
Mhm.
big part of today's world with seniors. These types of care
Mhm.
are ones that we can provide, and the type of caregiver we would provide has to be what's known as a certified home health aide.
Mhm.
So in New Jersey, you are required as an agency to be licensed, and when we are helping someone physically with their various activities, we have to have somebody that is also licensed as a CHHA. So that's the difference when we have caregivers of different responsibilities, right?
Mhm.
Companion care is different than personal care.
Mhm.
Companion care is that buddy. Let's go. Let's jump in the wheels and take off for a little while. And not that the personal care doesn't do that. It's just that when we're doing more hands-on care, they need to be licensed.
Absolutely. So just for me now, I guess. Okay. So we have the care side of things. We have two avenues. What would you classify
So
the two?
we have personal care,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's activities of daily
Yeah.
living, right? That
Mm-hmm.
hands-on, right? Helping to navigate
Mm-hmm.
your daily life, more specifically as it relates to your health needs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have companion care.
Yeah.
So companion care is what it sounds like, more of a personal
Mm-hmm.
assistant, somebody that's still going to do some of those things that you need in terms of your, those personal care needs. But it's more designed to be lighter, in terms of its daily activity.
Is there a third avenue? From what I think we were talking about before, or like not even today, like at a previous meeting, like is there more like events kind of thing where like seniors helping seniors and we're doing like a pottery class? Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, for example, I mean, if somebody is interested in doing that, let's
Mhm.
say someone, right, that we provide, companionship or personal care services to, and they're active potter, and they want to go and they want to participate in a class
Mhm.
at a local pottery shop. That's something we can get them to,
Nice.
right? So they can pursue that interest. And I think overarchingly, what's really important is that what we want to do is provide the senior the ability to remain as independent as possible for as long as possible.
Mhm.
And we do that through these different types of care. But it also becomes about really making sure that we're helping them to pursue the things that they want to pursue. That's what got me into this industry originally, because I love the mission of helping seniors to live more active, independent, and engaged lives.
Mhm.
That to me is so appealing, and more appealing as I continue to age myself. So
Nice. So it seems like, I mean, I haven't heard about like anything like this around. It seems like you guys are very like one of a kind, if you will. So, what would be some of the top bullet points of like what makes you different from the other,
the
helper?
other, yeah, well, there's
The
a
others.
lot there's a lot of competition
Uh-huh.
out there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of agencies that are providing similar types of services.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main differentiator for us is the fact that we actually, and thus the name, Seniors Helping Seniors, we actually seek to employ seniors to provide that care. And obviously, we on certain particularly personal care levels, right? We can't always hire an 80-year-old to go in and and take care of maybe a 6'4" guy who needs help getting out of a chair. However, it's unique in our industry because people are not looking to hire older adults to provide this care, and as such, we give purpose to the senior that is looking to stay engaged in their life,
Mm-hmm.
those that are healthy and active and looking with that heart of service to give back, and at the same time, the person that is looking for the care is also excited because they are connecting and getting that care from someone their own age.
Awesome. Great stuff. So I think we talked about that you got some events coming up. So if you want to learn more, I believe you're speaking somewhere
Yeah.
close
Can you
by.
can you imagine?
Yeah,
Can you imagine? Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yep. As a matter of fact, there is an Aging Well series,
Mm-hmm.
as it's called, at the Ridgewood Library on May 13th at 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be speaking there as part of three people. It's a three-person presentation.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be a certified financial planner there. There'll also be an elder law attorney talking about legal aspects of aging. So we're going to talk individually about our different disciplines, and of course, Seniors Helping Seniors, how we provide both that in-home care and also how we can help those seniors that are out there looking for ways to participate in their own lives. So,
Awesome, awesome. Can you give
yeah.
us a little sneak peek? Any bullet points that we should be prepared for to learn of? Anything to learn about?
Well, as you and I were talking earlier, it's aging. Aging is inevitable,
Mm-hmm.
and how we do it and how we gain the support is really important. So, I think that I think we look at aging in a lot of different ways today.
Mm-hmm.
We're living longer. Interestingly, the majority of the population that are 65 and older, about, according to AARP, somewhere around 82% of the older population want to actually age in place. That's their choice.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we do that? How do we help these seniors do what they prefer to do, which is age independently and with dignity? That's what we're all about. We're there to help them do that and to fulfill that need of that growing population as we all move down the chronological timeline. So, yeah, it's meeting people where they are, providing them the type of connections that they desperately need many times to
Mm-hmm.
stay engaged and active and just more engaged. So,
Nice, beautiful.
anyway.
Great stuff. As always, we are live. So if you have a question, comment, or concern, you can put it in the comments section. We'll answer it live with Randy today. All right. So we kind of covered, Seniors Helping Seniors. Anything that we left out? Any stone left unturned? Anything else we want to let the people know?
Well, I think what's important, and as trite as it might sound, our mission and our overarching goal, shall we say, is really this idea that to give is to receive, and that by providing care to seniors the way we do, the people that are giving that care, particularly where we have seniors providing it to their fellow seniors,
Mm-hmm.
is a way that they receive and at the same time as while they're giving this attention to their fellow seniors. So it is a beautiful experience to watch these relationships happen, and it's fulfilling to know that our families in turn are assisted, knowing that their loved ones are getting the type of care that they want and that they deserve.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Great stuff. So now that we know about Seniors Helping Seniors, let's get to know Randy a little bit. So we'll do a little transition. So we'll start with a little business stuff first. But so what is the things you love most about the job, and some of the stuff that you not so hot about the job? What personally, what is your favorite part about Seniors Helping Seniors?
Well, honestly, I think it's about this.
Nice.
I love connecting. I love connecting with people,
Mm-hmm.
and I love to connect people with other people. It's my juice. It's just I love it. I feel it comes naturally to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I really love engaging individuals, engaging an audience, and helping them to understand, oftentimes, including things like senior care, senior living, understanding something that's very complex, but breaking it down into more layman's terms. I mean, look at us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Look
Speaking right to the layman's right now.
So that's what it is. That's what
Mhm.
I love to do. I really love to connect with people and sort of be the face of an organization. And it's it's very rewarding, as I said, to be able to work with a whole diverse population, age. Working with their families as well has always been a joy for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the front and center stuff. I like that. As far
Mm-hmm.
as far as the minutia of desk work and right, as
Mhm.
we've already talked about, lots and
Mhm.
lots of technology. maybe not so much my strong suit. I certainly engage it because it's part of the job, but I'd rather be on the front line, meeting and greeting and building relationships with referral partners, with families, because that's really what I think I do best.
Beautiful. Great stuff. Great stuff. So besides the business, any hobbies, anything, any interests? What do you like to do
No,
besides
unfortunately, I work 24/7. Yeah, actually, I really enjoy cooking. I think you knew that I was a former trained chef, so I absolutely love food, both going to try new foods as
Mhm.
well as making them. I'm also a very amateur photographer. I say very because I love to experiment with outdoor photography. Black and
Nice.
white is sort of that medium that I like to play around in.
Nice.
So that's a lot of fun. And yeah, I do some outreach work, through my church, and that also is very satisfying because there again, it's part of that theme of helping other people. So yeah,
Nice.
so
Great stuff. Great stuff. Anything else that the people out in the LeTip world need to know about Randy? Do we leave anything out?
well, I think it's often asked where that ideal referral is going to come from,
There you go.
right? So
Mhm.
as part of my business development responsibilities, it is really trying to help people understand where and who those referral partners are. So, the healthcare, you know, segment of my industry is
Mhm.
pretty clear. Assisted living communities, skilled nursing communities, rehabs, people that work within those organizations. But then tangentially, there are people like certified financial planners who, by the way, are working with seniors. There are elder law attorneys by their name. They're
Mhm.
working with
Mhm.
older adults. There are different types of individuals, hospice workers. There are clinicians themselves, geriatric practitioners
Mhm.
that are related to what we do and can all provide potential referrals to me. But here's the easy thing:
Mhm.
everybody probably knows someone that is a senior. They're a potential customer.
Yeah.
Is it, maybe it's a relation, maybe it's
Mhm.
your neighbor down the
Mhm.
street,
Mhm.
maybe it's somebody that you've gotten to know through some social organization
Mhm.
or wherever it might be. If you feel that they would be someone that would consider
Mhm.
either personal care or companion care services, I'd love to talk to.
Nice. So let's just say you have a grumpy old neighbor next door, right? Let's just say you're a
Oh
grumpy old
yeah.
neighbor next door. What would be the right way to do this without insulting them? Like, like you knock on the door. Hey, you want, or maybe can we relay that information? Can we relay that person to you, and you guys can visit them? What would be the right way to do that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, part of it's like any other conversation when you're talking across the fence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey Bob, how are you doing these days? I've noticed you got a walker. How are things working out? I mean, it's just a general conversation about how are you.
Mm-hmm.
And usually people will share where they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
What their challenges are, and that's totally normal. And it's from there. It's like there's a guy I know that provides different kinds of in-home service
Mm-hmm.
to older adults. Good guy, been in the industry for gosh, going on 13, 14 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got this really neat concept where he can set you up with a little bit or a lot
Mm-hmm.
of care depending on your needs.
Nice.
Would you like me to give him a call or pass along your number, or you want me to give you his phone number to talk to? It's
Beautiful.
really no more than that.
Nice.
And that's really what's nice, is that it's that extension of you looking out for your neighbor and saying, I care. Here's a way that we can get you some care that you might not be thinking about.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Great stuff. So I mean, we have a speed round we're gonna get into, but okay, I want to make sure before we do that, one, the people at home, if anyone's watching out there on the YouTube or Facebook, if you have a question, comment, concern, you can put it in the comments section. We'll answer it live. But did we leave any stone unturned?
I don't know whether we left any stone unturned. It's I think it's really about raising raising the awareness of
Mhm.
seniors helping seniors, not just as a
Absolutely.
brand because we're new in this market,
Mm-hmm.
but that differentiator for us.
Absolutely.
That's where I really, want to get out there and make that clear, because we really do have a great opportunities for both the families we serve, but also for seniors that are looking to
Yeah.
to stay and get engaged.
Absolutely. So if you know someone that is looking for, a connection, relationship, and there's no better way than having seniors help seniors, Randy's your guy. And also make sure if you want to email him or get more info, you can go to info@shsnortheastnj.com. It's right here on your screen. And let's get into the speed round. So these are fun, whatever comes to mind first questions.
One word answers.
Yeah, I mean, some might be two. But first thing that comes to mind, are you ready for the speed round?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. So, as a chef, favorite food?
Fish.
Nice. Favorite dessert?
Tiramisu.
Favorite movie?
Field of Dreams.
Favorite TV show? Okay.
More recently, Blacklist.
All right. So I do split these up. It's kind of a similar question, but that was favorite TV show. Anything favorite on the streaming services? Do you like any of the streaming stuff on Netflix or whatever?
Actually, I guess Blacklist would have
There
been
you
that,
go.
because that wasn't
Oh.
that would have answered that.
It could
second,
be the same.
That,
It could be the same.
that second question.
TV or streaming, either way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gosh, hate to admit, I'm just not a huge TV watcher,
Yeah,
but
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Favorite sport?
Ice hockey.
Favorite team?
New York Rangers.
Nice. Are you a football guy?
Not so much, but I do like the New York Giants.
There you go.
Sorry.
Nice. It's good. It's good. Favorite color?
Green.
Favorite hobby?
Probably photography.
Nice. Favorite thing to take a picture of? That's appropriate to say on the podcast. I'm messing with you.
Yeah, I got to bleep that out. No, outdoor photography. I mean, you put me in front of nature, and I'll find it.
Nice. Yeah, so we had during we were celebrating. We had all the families. Like my house is in the back. There's a whole bunch of woods behind us. So Easter's the one holiday we have everyone in the backyard. We hide the eggs and whatever. So the kids are looking for the eggs, and all of a sudden, this big mama bear comes rolling up on us. We ran inside, but my next door neighbor is like into like outdoor photography, and he was loving it. And I was like, no thanks.
Yeah. Not when they're
like, cool, man. Like, no.
Not when the bear's running towards you.
Exactly.
Away from you is one thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else? Anything else that we don't know yet about Randy?
I don't know. Are they more speed round questions?
Hey, Eric, any speed round questions?
There's a pause.
Yeah. Eric's got nothing. All right, you think about it. Favorite vacation destination?
Paris, France.
Wow, wait. Do you speak any other languages?
Oui, monsieur, je parle français. Pas couramment, mais j'ai étudié le français au lycée à l'université.
Wow.
So, yeah, I speak a little French.
How long have you been speaking French?
Since 7th grade.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I had a choice of Latin or French, and French sounded more appealing, and stuck with it. And I'm an avid Francophile, so
nice.
What can I say?
Very nice.
It's good for reading menus when I'm out there trying new foods.
Absolutely. Great stuff. So do you go to France every once in a while? Is that your go-to spot?
Yeah, every once in a while. In fact, I was there for my birthday in January. I hadn't been there in a few years. So it was good to reconnect with some people over there. Yeah, it's nice. It's a good it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Awesome, great stuff. Last chance for the people at home. Do you have a question, comment, or concern? You can put it in the comment section, and we'll answer it live today. We're here with Randy with Seniors Helping Seniors. Randy, you have any questions, comments, or concerns?
I think probably all I'd like to share is there are a lot of options out there for families, and what I really have believed in for a long time is planning. We talk about in our world of working with seniors that oftentimes people wait too long
Mhm.
to kind of investigate what type of options they're going to have as they get older. And I'm a real believer in planning. And by that, I mean, understand what options you might want to pick down the road, but participating in that decision making now so that you have a plan. As they say, you don't have to, it's pull the trigger on that particular plan right away,
Mhm.
but knowing what your options are, having them laid out so that if and when you need to move on that plan, it's already there in front of you. And you're not relying on someone else to make that decision for you.
True.
Right? It's really it's key. It's the reason that people you don't buy insurance because your house is going to burn down. You do it as a precaution that if in the event that happens, you're already protected. So planning ahead is the biggest thing, and not waiting until there's a need, and because it goes from being a choice to a need.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference,
Yeah.
right? Wouldn't I rather be involved with choosing the way I want, right? Those later days to look like,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just waiting until there's a need, and then all of a sudden the need is driving the decision, or other people are making that decision for me.
Yeah.
So anyway, a little bit of philosophy there.
No, it's great, and it kind of goes parallel, with your health in general. You know what I mean? You take care of yourself, and you rather do the right things now than have to be reactive later. So it's kind of like a mental health kind of thing too. Like you don't want to be stuck in a situation and not happy.
That's right. It's preventative.
Yes, there you go.
There we go.
That's the key word.
There's the word.
That's the word we were looking for.
There we go. Prevent.
Beautiful. Eric, you got that question? He wasn't even thinking. All right.
Which state has the best food is the question.
Wow.
That is totally subjective. I've lived all. I told. I said earlier that I've lived all over the country, and each part of the country I've lived in all has their unique
food.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So,
how about as a chef, favorite food to make or create?
I mentioned earlier I love fish. I've always enjoyed it. When I was in cooking school, I got exposed to food from around the world, and I learned in a classic French style of cooking.
Yes.
And I really do still sort of fall back to that. Not with a lot of the heavy sauces and things like those are in that classic style. But I like simple, straightforward. Simple, straightforward, shall we say, Mediterranean cooking, and that's flavorful and it's healthy, right?
Nice.
So yeah, that's where I'd go. I'd sit on a cafe and somewhere in Paris or in Bordeaux and sit there and enjoy a nice meal on the boardwalk, right?
Beautiful.
So, yeah,
beautiful stuff. Last chance for the people at home or Randy. Questions, comments, concerns before we wrap it up.
I don't know. The phones are not ringing off the hook yet, so I got to get out there and do a little more business development, Doug.
And people are out working right now. It's like what, 2:00. So we just they'll watch it on their own time. This is live, but we'll also be posted on Facebook and YouTube. But I think that kind of wraps this up, right?
Awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, thanks a lot for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Seniors Helping Seniors is a growing business, and we hope to be out there helping people for a long time.
100%.
Really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for joining us, Randy. And then last but not least, if you want to learn more information, you're going to go info@shsnortheastnj.com. It's right there on your screen, and you can learn more about Seniors Helping Seniors from Randy Carroll. Randy, thanks again for joining us.
Appreciate it, Doug. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And we'll see you next time
All
on
right.
LeTip Live.